Come on in, Bard. Welcome to Politics and Right.
Hey, Bertha, I had a question for you.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
So we all know that over the past 20 years, Sheila Jackson Lee has been a really bad boss. But
Yes.
now we hear this conversation that she had with her staffer that he recorded, and we find out that she is a true monster of a boss. And so my question to you was, and I haven't heard you talk about this, you and Melissa, are you going to change your vote now that you find out how bad she really is?
First of all, the Congresswoman I am going to come out. I shouldn't do this, but I will. I'm going to come out in the full defense of the Congresswoman. And the Congresswoman is not a very nice boss, as I've seen and as I've known for decades. And that is just how some people run the show. I'm not here to defend the Congresswoman for what kind of a boss she is when she gets upset or mad. I mean, people can look at that their way. I have had bosses all along my career, mostly men, and they have done things orders of magnitude worse than Sheila Jackson Lee, and they are well respected. I've watched the president talk about grabbing women by their you-know-what. I've watched a senator. I've watched all these things occur. I will not allow what others have done to release this tape. Look, first of all, I am not defending her at all. I'm not voting for her for how she treats this person that she really dragged out on at all. That's not what I'm judging her for. I'm judging her for what's best for Houston right now. For all of those who decide, this stuff came to manipulate your mind, Bard. And this tape was released to say, look at the bad thing the Congresswoman did. Look at how she spoke to her employee. Now she cannot be the mayor of Houston. Listen to many others, likely including our brother Whitmire. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors often. I know what goes on behind closed doors in a lot of different places, including places where I've worked. I've only worked for another company 5 years of my entire life. So what I'm saying, not voting for Sheila Jackson Lee, I'm going to tell this message to everybody who's listening to me. If you decide to not vote for Sheila Jackson Lee because of that one tape you heard of how she spoke to her employee, I can tell you stories about being with Sheila Jackson Lee in North Carolina and watching how she deals and conducts herself with her constituents. And I'm going to tell you something. More than anything else, I want that person that I saw how she dealt with her constituents and how she ragged on her employee when they did not deal with the constituent appropriately. So, Bard, that tape didn't tell me anything I couldn't have surmised. That tape will not change my vote. In fact, you're going to hear a piece a question that I asked Whitmire on PBS yesterday. And I'm going to play that a little bit later. Again, the best person, in my humble opinion, and that's who I'm voting for, based on what Houston needs, is a woman, and likely because of the nurturing nature that I have in that. And for me, that person is going to be Sheila Jackson Lee. And nothing folks can try all the dirty politics they want. It's not going to work. Go ahead, Bard, your turn.
Well, maybe it'll be good if she gets in there and starts trashing some of these City of Houston employees. Maybe it'll get
I knew you would say, hey, Bard.
Sitting around in the Bard, all day.
Hold on, Bard, brother. Hold on a second. I just knew. There's something in my head that knew that's how you were going to come back,
Well, it's true.
That was a good one, Bard.
Your vote.
Bard, that was a good one. Hey, you get an A+ for that one, okay?
Okay. I'll call
Have
you
a good
tomorrow.
one. Have a good one, brother. All right, folks, 713-526-573. Hey, guys, I only have one contribution so far. I need more. Let's go to Johnny. Come on in, Johnny.
Bart, I hope you're listening. When you talk about leadership style and you want to bring up Sheila Jackson Lee, and I think it's because she's a black woman. Anyway, how about Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Lyndon Baines Johnson? And there's a third person whose name I shall not reveal just yet. FDR had a leadership style that was very aggressive. even though he had to get out of his crutches to do it. So now, what about Donald Trump? Donald Trump, he's never had a tantrum in the White House. He's never thrown plates over the fireplace with ketchup all over the wall. Please don't preach to us about Sheila Jackson Lee. Quit examining the speck in other people's eye when you got a log jammed in
Johnny. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's go to Melissa. There you go. You're on now, Melissa.
Good morning.
Yes, I hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Houston. Okay, 3 things. Sheila Jackson Lee, Black, strong, minority. Got to be tough. You can't be tough. You can't stand the heat. Get out the kitchen. To the weather guys, CERN. Okay, I don't believe it. I'm not conspiracy mind. Say CERN. So, and then the last thing. What else? What were you talking about? Free Palestinians.
Yeah.
Good night. Have a good day.
Melissa, thank you so kindly, and thank you for being prompt, my dear, beautiful Melissa. Let's jump to Jeff. Come on in, Jeff.
Good morning, Egberto.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, we got to go fast today because the calls keep coming. Thank you, my brother.
Okay, I was going to talk about corporate greed. We'll never agree with the. I'm a stockholder in companies, and I like my dividends, but we're not going to talk about that. Sheila Jackson Lee. I have a friend of mine that works in the restaurant business. He waited on them at their table one time, and the aide came up to him. First thing he said was, "You don't talk to the congressman. You talk through me." And my buddy said, "No, I'm going to ask her for an order." And the aide said, "Well, no, we don't do that. She doesn't talk to you guys." She is a egotistical, narcissist person that you'll ever meet.
Okay, let me stop you right there.
Johnny brought up
Jeff.
About all the past, but you know what, Johnny? Stop living in the past. Let's talk about what's going on.
Okay,
now.
Jeff. I don't have a lot of time, but I want to tell you this. Okay, because I don't want to leave that unanswered. Like I said, I know the Congresswoman personally. You have to be careful about what all the people say about her and all of that kind of stuff. You could likely say that about any man that's out there. It's not true. I can tell you one thing about how she treats her constituents, okay? But that's fine. I understand that there's a reason. It's easy. It's very easy to put a hurting on women specifically, Black women specifically. I'm going to tell you something. Open your eyes, my brother, and try to look at things objectively. And let's think about what policies would get executed. But we talk another time when we have more time, Jeff. Thank you for calling. Let's go to Samantha. Come on in, Samantha.
Hi, Umberto. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to see if I can make my point. Yeah, I'll make it brief. One thing that I noticed that was happening in the elections is basically where, the January 6th incident occurred and that they claimed that the election was stolen is because, a lot of people who are Democrats, who are liberals, progressives, third party, they don't talk about politics as much as the Republicans do. That's why I think Sheila Jackson is going to win because, people already know who they're going to vote for. The Democrats know that we're going to vote for Sheila Jackson Lee. We already know she's the one.
But Samantha, I need to interrupt you. I need to interrupt you because we need to get out of here. But here's the deal, Samantha. It's not enough to just say she's going to win. If you want her to win, you make sure your auntie, your granny, your child, your granddaughter, your mother, all of these folks are going to go out there and vote. Thinking she's going to win because she should win is one thing. Going out there and doing the work is what they are doing. Those people who want others to win, they're doing the work. Folks, the folks who want progressives to win have to start doing a bit more work. That's all I need to say, my dear Samantha.
Thank you.
You have a wonderful day. Let's go to Derek. Come on in, Derek.
Hey, quickly, if you try and do your pledge online, it's not going through, Alberto. I tried, so I'm going to have to call it in. But what I want to say quickly is these hypocrites act as though they have never had to get into somebody's behind for messing up. All this is a political trick to paint the picture of the angry Black woman. That's what it is.
Okay, Derek, I agree with you like 100%. It's something my wife said. It's something my daughter said. It's something my white Jewish friend called me up when it came out and said. It is something it is something that we, those that are true progressive, those that believe in honesty, morality, and are anti-racist, they understand what's going on here, what buttons usually gets pushed. It's like right at the right time, you get people to vote their fears instead of vote their interests. And this happens. Thank you for saying that, Derek. Please call back and hit number 1 to contribute so I can thank you on air. Well, I can thank you right now before you even give, but please go ahead. Thank you for the support that you're going to give the show when you call back 713-526-5738 and hit option number 1. Thank you, Derek.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's go to Brian. Come on in, Brian.
Yeah. First off, Sheila Jackson Lee has had 11 chiefs of staff in the last 11 years. That should tell you something right there.
Okay, stop right there. Okay, whoa, stop right there. Stop right there.
How is she going to treat the voters?
Wait.
Get what you vote for.
Oh, stop, Mike. I want to ask you one thing. You said in 11 in these years that she has worked, she had 11 chiefs of staff. President Trump was in office for 4 years. How many chief of staffs did he have, sir?
You're living in the past. Talk about
no. You're living in the past. If you just lived in the past, sir, when you spoke about Sheila Jackson Lee.
7. When did the interview take place? If she's going to treat her staff this way, how is she going to treat the voters?
Again, I gave you my experience in North Carolina, how she got on her staff because of how they treated her constituents who was out there in North Carolina for the Democratic Convention. I just told you I witnessed that with my own eyes. You are saying what you're hearing through third parties.
No, I work in a very, very rough atmosphere. If HR gets a hold of something like that, that woman's fired. If a man talks to another man like that, he gets his butt whipped, buddy.
And you know what, sir? That is not true. I'm telling you, and if you worked in environments,
I've seen 10 fist fights for less than half of what she said to a man.
Brian, let's speak one at a time. Brian, let me tell you, you ask any American worker out there about how bosses have treated them. It makes your statement false. It may be written that is how things should happen. And the reality is it doesn't happen that way. I remember working at Daniel Industries, and my wife would call me periodically about how this particular person treated and demeaned women in the office day after day. And he was one of the most respected people in the company. So, Brian, I mean, don't judge Sheila Jackson Lee differently than you would judge Joe Biden, different than you would judge Donald Trump. If you can support a Donald Trump, supporting a Sheila Jackson Lee is peanuts, because Donald Trump has exponentially higher disregard for people than anything you can come about with a Sheila Jackson Lee or most human beings, to put it bluntly. So, Brian, let's be measured here and be honest.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.